Hello, you guys. I'm so excited. Tonight is going to be so fun for me. I'm excited, you guys. I get to mix in one of my favorite pastimes and something that some of you guys don't know about me. But I'm going to give this a moment to see who wants to join in. I did make an announcement on the private support group, at least this time. I did. I put the twins to bed, so hopefully they will allow me to do this live chat. This is going to be a lot of fun for me, actually. But it's always fun when I come on here with you guys. While we're waiting for people to come in, today was just like full of excitement for me. Since this can be kind of like a pillow talk for us too, right? Because it's after a certain hour for me anyway. I don't know where everybody is located in the world. But today I got my first Brazilian wax. This has been something on my bucket list. And I swear to you, like so many of my girlfriends like subscribe to this and have been doing this already for years. And I was a scaredy cat, you guys. A scaredy cat. But, certain things started to overcome my scaredness. I'm like, well, you know what? Wasn't into shaving and I used hair removal creams. And I'm like, I'm ready to just try something new. Like my fear was lower than the hair removal cream. So I'm like, let me do this thing. And it wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. It was actually okay. Hey, Allah is my Lord. Let me see. I think before I learned how to put she wants to talk about the whole twin flame thing. I actually made a video, Allah is my Lord, like a couple of weeks ago where I was talking about the perspective of a twin flame. So the first thing that I'm going to say here, you guys, is I have actually been studying astrology for quite some time. I am still very much a student, but I have gathered information over the years. And after this video uploads, I will definitely direct you, in case you don't know, about a couple of really, really good astrologers that I've learned a lot from. If you have experienced narcissistic abuse, or you feel like you've had a lot of abuse in your life, I highly recommend you getting a professional natal chart evaluation from one of the astrologers that I'm going to recommend. Okay. This is a video that's going to require you guys who may not know anything about astrology or may just have a shallow point of view or perception of astrology to expand your mind. You guys, especially those of you who have been rocking with me for quite some time, you know that, if I'm going to mention something, it's for a good reason. So if anything, if you are skeptical, I would love to make you a believer. And my whole idea of making this live chat is I want you guys to have every advantage of understanding your life and helping you to get closure and understanding energy as well. Now, for the record, I don't even think any narcissistic abuse channel has ever made this type of connection. So I will gladly be the first. I will gladly trailblaze on this. And as a matter of fact, the couple of astrologers, one of them at least, said she would be willing to come on the channel. So this is, going to be the first of other live chats to come. Just in this one, you got me, but that's something. But I know someone who just does this for a living full time, and she is just an encyclopedia, a wealth of information. So, I'll get with her. We'll get our calendars together and we'll see. Let me see how this goes. If there's enough interest on this channel, but even if it's not, I feel like even if I'm ahead of my time with this, I want to do it anyway. Because one day somebody's going to connect the dots and get it. And even if a handful of you get this, that's going to mean something to me. How some people say, even if this reaches one person, I did my job. So I'll just say that. So the first thing that I'm going to say is, I want to definitely, just before I even jump into these aspects, just say that astrology is a science, you guys. I want to say that first and foremost. So many people do not realize that. It's studying the planets and the universe and the asteroids and everything that encompasses that. Okay, and the rotation and the movements of it. And it can have mathematical aspects to it as well. So you might hear me jump into a little bit of numerology because numbers matter as well. And anything that you guys can tap into to help, open that third eye with you, to help you have a more elevated view of your life, other people's life, and the world around you, it will blow your mind. At this point in my life, I feel very tapped in. And the more that I've opened myself up to be that vessel, at times I feel psychic, honestly. And you can too, and there's some people who have even more energy than others in that department, but we all have discernment. We all have a gut, and, we can get in tune with that. But yes, you guys, astrology is a science. It is not just some little rinky-dink paragraph in a newspaper or some cheesy app that's trying to tell you how your day is going to be based off of your sun sign. A lot of people, or the typical person, they only understand astrology from the standpoint of a sun sign. And honestly, astrology, you have 12 houses. And I'm not going to break everything down. And when I was thinking about doing this live chat, I was like, I don't want to make it confusing for someone who may not know anything. But I'll say this. You are way more than your sun sign. And if anything, and as someone who understands astrology a little more deeply, definitely than someone who just understands it on a shallow aspect, your moon sign is far more, to me, radiating in your life than even your sun sign, and your moon sign addresses your feelings. So there's some very prominent placements in a chart, and then there's just other placements as well. And when someone is looking at a natal chart, they're basically looking at where the planets were aligned at the exact moment of their birth. So if you could get someone's date of birth, the time that they were born, and the location, you can get a pretty good freaking snapshot of how this person came into the earth energetically and what they are predisposition to experience. What type of energy that is radiating stronger in their chart, including your own. So, if you hear someone say a natal chart, that's what they're talking about at that point. And it gets even deeper. You can put two charts together, and that's called a synastry, where you're looking at how your 12 house planets interact with their 12 house planets and your main planets, period, which would be things like your sun, your moon, your feelings, which are your feelings, your Venus sign, which is how you like to express love, generally speaking, your Mars sign, how you like to express aggression, and also deals with sex. Okay. Your rising sign, what you should be striving, the energy that you should be striving to be in this lifetime, something called your South Node. That's the energy that they would say, if you believe in previous lifetimes, that you had a lot of last lifetime that you should be kind of shaken away from. So it's just all types of placements, you guys, and all of them work together to minimize and maximize each one. All right. But in this video, I want to focus more on some of the shittier end of the stick, if you will, and some of the not so pleasant things to help shed light on what could be generally affecting these things in your life. So when you watch a video like this, it would be great for you to actually even have your birth chart up. And there are 2 websites that I recommend that you could use to get a free birth chart. And even if you don't, some of you may not know the time that you were born, you could still find out your general placements, even though they may not be able to give you your houses. Okay. So those 2 websites are Cafe Astrology and astrocharts.com. I prefer Astrocharts over Cafe Astrology just because it gives a planet called Chiron. And that's a big deal, especially with the topic that we're having today, as far as thinking about depression and wounds and abuse and those type of things. So at the astrocharts.com does give you what your Chiron is. And depending on what that is basically your biggest wound. All right. And since we're mentioning Chiron, let's talk about some of those placements. And in regards to like narcissistic abuse and abuse, like automatically right off the rip, I could think about a Chiron and Taurus. If you have a Chiron and Taurus, you might be a person that's susceptible to stay in situations longer than you should. That would be a person who would be taking this narcissist back over and over and over. Sometimes when people have Chiron and Taurus, they're basically inflicted in their self-esteem. You might suffer from low self-esteem. And when you're doing that, you're placing a lower value on yourself. So, something like that can definitely Chiron and Cancer for people who feel like they've had issues with their family a lot, or even the mother, because Cancer represents feminine energy and it represents the mother. So if you ever felt like you had family issues or issues with women or issues with your mother, you would want to find out where Cancer is in your chart and what degree is it at, which should take it to a further step. If you feel like you've had issues with your father or issues or karma with kids, you want to look at where Leo is placed in your chart. A lot of Leo sun women, a lot of Leo south node women have issues with children, daddy issues. Find out where Leo is. Also, Saturn, while we're on the topic of fathers, Saturn represents fathers as well, and is also represented by Capricorn. So that can also be an indication of, daddy issues or issues with your father. And while we're talking about Capricorn, we're going to be bouncing around just as I'm mentioning things. If you struggle with depression, you might want to look at where Capricorn is placed in your chart, especially like Capricorn moons. That Capricorn is the sign of depression. Doesn't mean that all Capricorns are like sad and down and out. No, but on the dark side. And you'll hear me say that a lot because all the 12 signs of the zodiac, from Aries to Pisces, they have light energy and dark energy. So on the darkest side of Capricorn energy, there's a lot of pessimism, there's a lot of gloomy, there's a lot of glass half empty, and it may even have this energy and thoughts of, love hurts type of thing. And when you feel like love hurts, you're going to stay in situations that you're deeming as love, because to you it's not love unless it's hurting, or it's some basically that pain represents your love. So that's what I wanted to say definitely about Capricorn. If you feel like you have this is going to sound a little This is going to sound a little blunt, you guys, but I'm just going to be vulgar in this video because, you know, it is what it is. All right. And I'm also going to sidebar and say that I don't, you know, come for any signs per se, even though certain sign energies work better with my particular chart, you know, and with my energy than others. But, you know, it's not one sign that I hate per se. It may be signs that I don't work as well for me, you know, but that's just me and my energy. And that might work well for your energy because you have a completely different chart than me. Okay. But the information that I'm giving you guys today is just general information, not synastry, at least not just yet in this conversation. So if you feel like you suffer from like a bottom bitch mentality, and, you know, these are just women that stay in situations, you know, they take the abuse, they take the cheating, and they never want to really let go per se. I would want to check for Libra energy. Like if you have an abundance of Libra energy, you might, you know, have that bottom bitch mentality. If you have an abundance of Cancer energy, you know, they don't like to let go of relationships either. And then Pisces energy for sure, because that's the sign of victimization. So wherever you see Pisces in your chart, you know, you may be victimized there, or you may have some illusions or delusions or false ideas that may need to be shattered in that area. And that's the good thing of knowing your 12 houses, and what sign is in those 12 houses, and then what placements are in your 12 houses. And I know that might kind of go over some of you guys' heads. I don't know, like go in the comment section and let me know, like how many of you even know just, you know, at least a little bit about astrology here. I don't know like to what degree. I'm trying to make this video friendly, you know. But yeah, if you felt like, damn, like, why am I always getting sucked back in? Why can't I get out of these situations? Or why does it seem like more of a struggle? Because it's not that you can't get out of it, but you may have a lot of energy. You came in with a lot of energy that made you more susceptible to staying in these situations. But it damn sure does not have to be your life sentence, you know. But sometimes when there's so much energy on it, it's like it takes a lot of effort for you to get out of that energy. But the beautiful thing about, you know, getting your natal chart and everything is just letting you know, hey, let's say somebody told you you have so many placements in your natal chart that would indicate that you will struggle with your weight, honey. Well, you could take that information and succumb to it, or you could take that information and say, damn, that means if I eat a popcorn, I got to be careful. I know I have to be extra particular about this and that because I'm very susceptible. And that's kind of how I look at, you know, natal charts. But a lot of times, I'm just going to keep it real with you guys. When there's a ton of energy in something, you know, a lot of times someone may even spend their lifetime. That might be their cross to bear. And they may spend their lifetime battling this, yo-yoing up and down, taking a step forward, going 2 steps backwards. And, you know, you can overcome things, yes. But when there's a lot of energy, sometimes it's very hard for people to get out of it, you know. Because it's just so much fucking energy. And even I listen to astrologers, sometimes they feel bad. You know, they look at someone's chart and they see that energy. It's like, damn, like, did they even have a chance when it comes to certain energies? Now, no one's chart is all bad. You know, everyone has their gifts, you know, but just, you know, to those certain areas that, like I said, that may feel like a huge wound over your life. Okay. Another thing I wanted to mention about Pisces energy, that's energy of looking to escape as well. So wherever you see that Pisces energy, not only may it be, you know, victimizations or illusion and delusions, but it might be, you know, where you're looking to escape something. Now, you could take everything that I'm telling you guys in this live chat and apply it to other people. Like if you know that narcissist date of birth and time and location, or at least the date of birth, you can get a general synopsis, if you will. And you might find, where these energies are with them. And you might say, damn, like, yeah, they had mommy issues. They had daddy issues. They got karma and this and that. Okay. Let's talk a little bit about mental illness, you guys. That you're going to see quickly in moon signs. You can see that a lot in moon signs. Like if you're like a Virgo moon, you may have some issues with mental illness. If you have a Gemini moon, and like I said earlier, Capricorn moon, because of that depression, because that's a mental illness too, you guys. But yeah, those are definitely the moon signs. If you see an Aries moon person, watch the fuck out. Aries, especially unevolved, those can be hothead people. And so when we're looking for abusive people, we definitely want to see that Aries moon right there. Watch out. And if a guy is a Pisces moon as well, he could victimize women. Or it could be a situation where he was victimized maybe in his childhood, perhaps, but he could end up being a womanizer too now. So Aries moon, Pisces moon, you want to look for that energy. Now, as far as feeling like cold and detached type energy, you want to look for somebody with Aquarius energy. Aquarius, that's the sign of the alien. There's a lot of positive things I could say about Aquarius energy, but on the dark side, they are cold as fuck and detached. They make great friends on the light side, but if you're closely involved with one of them, on the dark side, they're cold and detached. Definitely cold and detached. That's the last thing, survivors and narcissistic abuse need an abundance of, somebody with Aquarius energy. And it's not even going to be on purpose, meaning it's subconscious with them. That coldness, not detachedness. And some of you probably can know this if you had like an Aquarius mom. So think of someone nurturing in your life that might have that Aquarius energy. And then if they have it in a bunch of placement, good Lord. And I was thinking about the mental illness again. You want to look at Cancer placements too, honestly. Because anytime, someone's thinking more with their emotions than their logic, that can make them very susceptible to mental illness. So if somebody has a lot of heavy Cancer placements, yeah, that can make them irrational, explosive, too damn emotional, and just a victim to their emotions. And then when they come up out of it, it's like, they're trying to probably figure out how to clean that up. Yeah. So let's talk about some numbers. We can get into that as well. The number 1 is considered to be, that degree of narcissism. So if you're seeing like someone that's born on the first day, okay, or you seeing like 1 degree of something in somebody's natal chart, yeah, that could indicate, selfishness, and it could indicate a narcissist, It could also indicate someone that's athletic, but, for the sake of this video, I'm kind of trying to, stick on topic here with abuse and, mental illness and narcissism and this and that. This is something that I'd like to tell you guys as far as synastry goes. You're going to find out, and this is probably going to tickle you guys, if you know that narcissist date of birth and time and place and all of this and that, look up the synastry, you guys. That means look up your chart and look up their chart. Find out what their Venus sign is, and then find out which of the 12 houses their Venus sign is in for you. and particularly the second house, because I have to mention that with narcissistic abuse. The second house in your natal chart deals with money and materials and your wealth and that sort of thing. Yes, Scorpio Moon is a hard placement. That's a very hard placement for mental illness. Yeah. And just a rough life. Like if you have a lot of the Scorpio energy, that's very deep. You know, those people could be susceptible to being molested and rape type of thing. You know, and along the lines with that, not to digress off of what I was, just about the point I was making. But if you have a Cancer Mars, for my female subscribers who have Cancer Mars, God bless you. God bless you. Oh my gosh, that's so rough. That is so rough. That if you have it, especially at the earlier degrees, it indicates being abused as a child. And that goes for men and women, but sexually abused for women. Now, on the flip side, if a man has Cancer Mars, run for the fucking hills. Oh my God. And I've experienced a Cancer Mars man in my life. Oh my God. These guys are like psychopaths. Do not fuck with a guy with Cancer and Mars. Put that in cement and let it fucking dry. I'm serious. And it's funny because for some of you who have probably dealt with narcissists, you look in these charts and you're going to find some commonalities, honestly. And it's so funny when I talk to a lot of survivors and I find, wow, like you're a Capricorn Moon too, because like I said, you came into this world energetically, with these energies around you. And there really are people with charts that are more susceptible to attracting more narcissists than others. There really are people, energetically, and being as though we all have this common experience. For those of you, who really had that experience, it wouldn't be surprising to me to find out like, wow, we have some similar placements in our charts, which is why we had some similar experiences. Okay. But yeah, if you pick up you put the two natal charts side by side, wherever that person's Venus sign falls in your houses is what they love about you. And if you felt like that narcissist was using you for money, watch how their Venus is probably in your second house. That's what they loved about you, what you could give them. So I just wanted to throw that out. That's how synastry could work out. I'm looking here at my numbers, and I want to point out the number 3 as well, which is ruled by Jupiter. And Jupiter expands things in your life. So wherever you have Jupiter, it will increase that energy. So let's, if you see a lot of 3 energy somewhere or 12 energy, and I'll sidebar with the 12 because I know all about 12. I was born August 12th. I'm going to just say that 12 is the number of victimization and sacrifice. So yeah, of course, it's going to be a 12 energy that's going to be able to make this channel for you guys. I've been victimized and I've had to make a lot of sacrifices in my life, and including experiencing narcissistic abuse. So if there's any of you out there who are born on a 12th day or see 12 degrees in your chart, be careful that you're not victimized in those areas, or you might find that you may be put in a position to have to make a sacrifice here and there. Because when you pull up your natal charts, it's not only going to tell you what sign it is in your 12 houses and what planets your signs are in, is going to give you numbers on the right side of it, or you'll see the degrees that go with it, you guys. And those numbers are very important. Like if you see a lot of number 18s, that isn't a number of violence. That's a number of hypersexuality. So, wherever that's placed, it's possible that you could see these things playing out. Now, it's not the only thing that the number 18 can represent. I've also heard that the number 18 is being in the world, but not of it. So you're supposed to overcome being hypersexual. You're supposed to be overcoming. You're not supposed to succumb to being violent, but you also don't want to attract it as well. See, the way that these numbers, it can play out in so many different angles. You know, in one person's chart, they're attracting it. In another person's chart, they're living it. You see what I'm saying? So you'll be able to see how the energy is playing out. That's why I keep calling it energy, you guys. So I'm like, this is what the energy has, but how is it playing out in your life? Okay. So let me see here. Saturn. Let's talk about the planet Saturn. Yes, that's a very important one. Saturn causes delays. That's what I definitely know about the planet Saturn. And I myself have a Saturn in Libra. So usually people with that, they may have a delay in having a decent ass relationship if it ever comes at all. But I'm not going to say if it ever comes at all, because the way that Saturn is supposed to work is, yes, you get the shitty end of the stick, and whatever that Saturn is for a certain portion of your life, you know, probably the first half at least. But, you know, as you learn the lessons that you needed to learn by hitting your head against the wall and getting it out the mud, if you will, eventually you do actually end up rectifying that situation. So, yeah. So if you have Saturn in Libra, let you know right now, you probably had a lot of shitty ass relationships, okay, starting from your childhood. You feel like people turned on you and all this and that. But you got to hang in there, and you're going to have to learn how to have the best relationship with yourself and not to be codependent. Because like I mentioned earlier, Libra was one of the bottom bitches. On the dark side, you know, if you have a lot of Libra energy, Libra sun, moon, rising, Venus, Mars, you know, that type of thing, South Node, you may be a people pleaser as well. You know, you might care too much about people. You may be a relationship junkie. And when I say you, it could be the narcissist, as you know, compare these charts and see how it's playing out. And I can't wait to, you know, have Rahbinah on here, because she can, you know, definitely get into more things. Now, the number 9 represents Mars. Mars is aggression. Mars is your sexuality and all of this. So if you see number 9, is actually can represent narcissism and arrogance, mental instability, combativeness. So energetic at the same time on a positive note, because you got to be energetic to do all of that shit, right? But yeah, check out for that number 9 energy. Like, to me, it's so deep that it's certain things that I choose not to do more than not, even though everything has this yin and yang. Like the number 29, I should have mentioned that number a little bit sooner. That is the number of fucking crisis. Ha. Yeah, it is. That's a very challenging number. You can also have issues with food with number 29, issues with your mother. And it's just the energetic degree. Wherever you see 29 in your chart, hold on for your life. Because you're probably going to be taken for a good run in that area. And then anything that's close to 29, like 28, almost as bad. Almost as bad. All right. So 29 energy, like I don't even like to schedule shit on the 29th day of the month. Like, for those of you watching this video, wait for the 29th to roll around. And then some of you are going to say, I don't know, Lakia, is it that way just because you're already putting that energy out there that it's that way? No, it's just with those numbers. Because if you think about it, what did I just tell you 9 represented? See? I just told you what that 9 energy represents, which is Mars. And, you know, like I said, narcissism, arrogance. So all of those things, delays, it can cause delays, 29 energy. And 2 represents the moon, by the way, which is your emotions, your needs, and your feelings. So that's what the number 2 represents. Let's talk about the number 22. That's another good one. If you see a lot of 22 degrees in your chart, that is the control or be fucking controlled sign degree. So wherever that is in your chart, either someone's going to be controlling you if you don't be careful, or you're going to have to learn how to take control for yourself. All right. 22 is proceed with caution. And it can also speak to someone benefiting from you as well. All right. Let's talk about the number 13. That's a good one. 13 represents death and transformations. It also represents perversions. 13 can be sudden transformation as well. It can also represent a kinky person, and it can also represent LGBTQ. Okay, and speaking of which, I didn't really format this talk. It's just kind of like I'm talking about one thing and it just makes me think of something else kind of thing. And we're just, we're being organic with this conversation. If you want to know about someone's probability of sexuality, like, oh, I thought that narcissist was on a down low, something of that nature, you want to look for Gemini energy. And that makes sense, right? Gemini is the twins. That's duality. That's left and right, up and down. So you want to look for Gemini energy. So like Gemini Mars type of energy. You want to look for Aquarius energy in that man's chart as well, like Aquarius South Node type energy. Or just having an abundance of Aquarius. Like if someone has an Aquarius stellium, and that's a new word that I've said in this live chat. A stellium is when you have 3 major planets in a certain sign. Like for myself, I'm a Leo sun, but I think I have 4 planets in Libra. So I may be a Leo sun, but I got 4 planets in Libra. All right. So I have a Libra stellium. You guys. So if someone happens to have like an Aquarius stellium, I'm not saying they're completely gay, but they are at least open fucking minded. Okay. So if you see that going on in a guy's chart, if his Venus is in an aggressive sign, a masculine, when I say an aggressive sign, like a masculine sign, like he has Venus in Aries, if you will. Venus in Leo, if you will, and damn sure Venus in Aquarius. Those to me are like people who are energetically, sexually fluid, if you will. So they're at least more open-minded, even if they don't want to admit it. Those are some telltale signs right there. So let's talk about the number 11, which kind of spins off the number 29, because if you add up the 9 and the 2, that's an 11. That equals 11. So 11 energetically can be always going to be fighting, always going to have a battle with something, or conflict, challenges, or like karmic challenges. All right. So wherever you see that 11 energy, or, if you were born on the 11th day, let me know. Do you feel like you had these challenges? Let me know. Let me know. Let's see. And also with that 18 energy, it could be materialistic as well. So let me say that. And that makes sense because 8 is Saturn, and Saturn is Capricorn. And, Capricorns, we like nice things too. And, how could I forget? With the number 18, there's 2 other things about the number 18 that I need to let you guys know. It can be a murderous degree as well, but that, kind of goes hand in hand with being very violent. All right. And if you also have that number 18 degree, for my survivors in particular, be careful about shady people being around you. It can indicate an area of your life, depending on what house is in or what planet. has that degree with it where, you could have shady people around you. All right. So keep that in mind as well. The number 20 represents family. So, depending on where that is in your chart, you can see the correlation. Like if I had Pisces at the 20th degree, that could indicate, family. And also, I'm sorry, with Pisces, it could be an indication of addiction as well. I didn't mention that about Pisces on the dark side, because there's some beautiful things about Pisces on the light side. But on the dark side, it can indicate addiction. So if I had Pisces at the 20th degree, like, did you have family of alcoholics or drug addicts? Do you feel like your family was escaping, like runners? Like, was your dad a Rolling Stone type of thing? Like when you see that Pisces at 20 degrees, did they victimize you in some type of way? Your family. So that 20th degree deals with family. Okay. Just going through my numbers here. What ended up happening, you guys, is I would and I still take this route to this day. I write down so much notes, and I eventually created about 5 different Excel spreadsheets where I keep these notes. And yeah, I have to get them all in there. Let's talk about the number 5 energy. The number 5 energy speaks to lawlessness and don't like to follow the laws, and it's ruled by Mercury. So while we're talking about Mercury, Pisces and Mercury could indicate a fucking liar. Okay, because you got to think about it. If Pisces is, like I said, on the dark side, illusion and delusions, and Mercury represents our speech, Pisces and Mercury is a fucking liar 9 times out of 10. So, I'm just giving you guys this information because honestly, it's easy to find this information when you first meet someone and you guys are and people are just like, I'm like, oh, when's your birthday? Bam. You find out real quick. You get like a little snapshot. I mean, you just get to see these things. So, and 5 can also represent change as well, going through a lot of changes. So if you feel like, hey, I'm going through a lot of changes and this and that, do you have that 5th degree somewhere, or something that equals or amounts to 5, which could be 14 as well, which deals with access and needing to learn in moderation. Now, I'm going to tell you guys about another big dog. If you guys don't remember any numbers, remember 29, 22, 13, and the one I'm about to tell you now, 16, along with the 18. I know that's like kid, that's a lot of fucking numbers. Not really in the scale that, when we think about numbers are like infinite, right? But the number 16, oh my gosh, that is a sucky number, you guys. That is the number of catastrophe and tragedy. And, it's just a very challenging number. It could mean a difficult life, death around you, unfavorable, disappointments, divorce. So wherever you see that number 16, and unfortunately, if you were even born on the 16th day, you might feel very misfortunate somewhere. You might feel that overall energy over your life. Like, this is some serious stuff. Like, for those of you who are getting this information early, like, I wouldn't even let my child, like, if I were planning a C-section and the doctor talking about some fucking 16th, no, my child is not being born on the 16th day. It's just certain numbers that I would just stay away, like, now that I know better, But yeah, that number 16 is a bitch. That number, that's a rough number right there. Like, you have it attached to your Mars where your sex is. Can mean there's, some type of dysfunction or irregularity with your Sexuality, for instance. I'm just giving you guys a for instance. And that could be someone that's raped, abused, end up being some type of sex worker, which is also encompassing that Pisces energy, you guys. Let's see here. Psychic Dashin, the Vampire Slayer. Are you talking about the emotional vampires? Mars and Scorpios are abusive. Sun and Leos, Sun and Geminis usually are high, because Saturn and Leo literally means letting go of being a narcissist. Yes, that's a great point to point out, the Saturn and Leos as far as that narcissist. That's a good thing to point out. Thanks for that comment. And not all Sun and Leos, but, you know, I did mention it earlier, like heavy Leo placements. Leo is the sign of narcissism. It is, but it depends on the signs around it as well. But if they're having like a Leo stellium, you know, it really depends. It really depends. So, but yeah, Saturn and Leo does mean letting go of the ego. So I definitely agree with that, you guys. I'm just looking through my numbers. The number 19. The number 19 deals with children, just for you guys to know. So if you're having any issues with children and you see a 19th degree next to that planet, and your 5th house deals with children as well. So, you know, if you have like Aries in your 5th house, the planet of war and aggression, like your kids might be bad as hell. They might be rebellious. They might give you a run for your money. Okay. So look into your 5th house to see what type of relationship you're going to have with your kids. And I actually, there's another astrologer who broke it down a lot more deeper as far as your first child, second, third, fourth, fifth. I think they went up to the 8th child because it just starts to rotate after that. And I don't even know if I put those notes into a spreadsheet yet, but it was extremely accurate because I looked at it on my life. I was like, whoa, like, yeah, it completely matched up. I'll have to, maybe I'll put that video underneath. So, cheaters, as far as cheaters going, some signs that are less monogamous than others, you know, they just have the energy. I'll say that. Psychic Dashin says Moon in Taurus thinks money is love and feels entitled. Moon in Taurus can definitely be materialistic. That's for sure. And, you know, anyone that has a lot of Taurus, if as far as figuring out if somebody's a gold digger or a possible gold digger, or, you know, what they're valuing a lot, if they have a heavy Taurus energy or heavy Capricorn energy, well, Taurus more about that gold digging. Capricorn is just more about getting that money. You know, getting that money. It don't have to be gold digging, but, you know, they'll make the money too. You know what I'm saying? But that moon, yeah, that moon in Taurus could definitely be that. So let's talk about some. I just have like all these placements written here. Let's talk about the planet Pluto real quick before I even jump into it. Before I jump into some other things, before I forget, Pluto is where, you know, you might experience a lot of death and regeneration. So whatever sign your Pluto is in, and mine's is in Libra. Libra's relationships. Okay, it could also represent courts and stuff as far as the Libra goes. Okay, but look at where Pluto is, or what your relationship what Pluto is, okay? Because you might see a lot of endings, a lot of relationships. Well, I'm saying relationships because I have that Pluto in Libra, but whatever your Pluto is in, and whatever their Pluto is in too, you could take a look at that. Pluto and Libra guys, they look outside of their wife, and usually their wife doesn't do it for them. I'm just looking at my notes. Pisces in the 3rd house, drinks a lot, alcoholic. And let me just point something else out before I start sharing these types of placements. When you get your chart, you're also going to see a breakdown of your charts where they're going to compare the planets, like whether they're in opposition, like going against each other, or whether they're sextile or conjunctions. And, you know, these might be words that some of you like, what the fuck? But yeah, your chart is going to break it down. But I believe the Cafe Astrology not only tells you what's in opposition or what's squaring, but it'll actually define it for you and let you know, well, what does Moon opposition Pluto mean? You know, that type of thing. Your Moon placement is in opposition to your Pluto placement. And what that actually means, that person gets caught doing their dirt in this lifetime when they do shit. Like everybody like, oh, what goes on comes out in the laundry, or what comes out in the dark is shown in the day, or whatever. This person definitely is going to have that type of energy for sure. And Virgo, because I see Chaya mentioning that their Pluto is in Virgo. Virgo, you know, Virgo could play out in so many different kinds of ways, honestly, on the light or dark side. But on the dark side, Virgo could be bossy as fuck and never satisfied, you know, always complaining, beyond neat freaks. Like, it can never just be clean enough. But on the sweet side, you know, like a Venus and Virgo will do anything for you, you know. So it really, and it could also be that sign with that mental illness, as I mentioned, the Virgo moons earlier. So that can be a really tough placement with the Virgo moon. Let me see this. The Psychic Dashin, the Vampire Slayer says, Pluto and Virgo, do your chores. When you isolate, I guess Virgo is day-to-day routine, perfectionist. Yeah. Overthinkers. They can definitely be in their head a lot and be really hard on themselves. That's the funny thing with them. Like, they're hard on others, but I believe they're just as hard on themselves. And then the dark side, they could be a hoarder. Shoot. You're right. Yeah, Moon and Virgos, hoarders. Let me share this comment. They're best skeptics and they're critical, good at picking people into pieces, and they can be hoarders. Yeah, that's the mental illness aspect of things, you know. But when we want to think about like bipolar, we're looking at like Gemini energy, like massive Gemini energies. If you want to see that in somebody's chart, or being scatter-minded. Perhaps Saturn and Gemini, you know, you got to think, because that's Mercury, the way that you're talking, the way that your mind is moving and processing things. So 7th house, you guys, let's talk about the 7th house in your chart, since I'm just, it's caught my attention on my spreadsheet. That is your house of marriage. Find out what planet that house is in. And just for those of you who have been married, see if that energy actually played out. I bet you it did. Like, if you have Gemini in your 7th house, you might attract a spouse that's two-faced, a spouse that has a double life, or there's some duality going on. They could be on a down low. You could live here. They could live there. Like, there's just something. There's third-party situations. Like, see what planet is in your 7th house. Like, there's certain houses that you just want to look into. on your natal chart just to see how it's going down. If you have Gemini there as well, it could represent having more than one marriage in your lifetime. So, yeah, there's something that's going to be a duality or something with that Gemini energy. So if you have Pisces in the 7th house, you might idealize your spouse, or you could be a runner. Because remember, Pisces is trying to escape. So, yeah, whatever it is going on, hopefully, if it's Leo, hopefully you didn't marry a narc. Because that's that narc energy, or that's that needing the spotlight, needing the, that selfishness. Hopefully they're not selfish. If it's Cancer, hopefully it's not a mama's boy. Or, maybe they won't be too more married to their family than you. Just think of each sign and what it encompasses. If Aquarius is in your 7th house, did you get married in a weird way? Oh, we didn't get married at a church. We actually got married in a hospital in the clergy room, or, we got married on the beach. It's something non-traditional going on with that, with the Aquarius energy. And you might feel that your spouse is cold, because remember I told you about that, cold and detached. Let me drink some water, you guys. Wait a minute. Let me read this comment real slow from Psychic. Yeah. So she says, she's adding to what I had to say about Gemini and Pisces. 7th house Gemini, you attract liars. Your secret life is a liar story. 7th house Pisces, you attract suicidal addicts. Oof. And you want to play them by scamming them through the Virgo rising, taking advantage of the weak. Oh, isn't that horrible? On the dark side. That's horrible. It's so horrible. But yeah, whatever the house is, you just think of, that planet and how it plays out. So let me see. I don't want to venture into, because I thought of something else, but it was off topic. So, find out where Neptune is too, because those are Neptune in the 2nd house could be a thief, by the way, since we're talking about people that are abusing. Pisces in the 4th house could represent homelessness, meaning, you could experience that in your lifetime. Okay. A Libra man at the 28th degree could definitely be a womanizer. And Libra sun sign men, period. Okay. Sagittarius men are incredibly notorious for being cheaters, and they don't have a type. They will lay with anything. So don't even try to make sense of the girl he's cheating with you on. Sagittarius women can be promiscuous as well, too, honestly. If you have Libra in the 2nd house, you could be in a relationship for profit, or, something strategic is going on there. All right. All right. If you are looking at synastry between you and that narc or whoever, and you see Mercury square Mercury, that's a lot of arguing and misunderstandings. I'm just looking through things right here. Let's see. Neptune. Just look for Neptune placements for that. That's like that con artist. You want to think about Pisces, that's the con artist right there. So look for Neptune and how that's playing out in your chart. That is an area that you need to get real and face reality in, and make sure that other people are not deceiving you wherever your Neptune is. All right. If someone has, I'm looking at my stellium tab. If someone has massive amount of Scorpio energy, they're extremely susceptible to catching STDs and definitely being a cheater and having a lot of compulsions. Aries stellium, head injuries for sure, attracting violence. Aries represents guns and knives as well. So be careful with that. If you have a lot of energy, Aries energy. And it could even just play out to where you feel like you get a lot of migraines and headaches. But if you felt like, man, like that narcissist was beating me at my head a lot, or you've had a lot of bumping of your heads and stuff like that, that Aries energy could be playing out negatively. If you have Mars in Cancer as well, let me just point out, because Cancer represents the home as well. I pointed out the mother and the family, but it's all like, in the same type of energy. It represents home. So if you have Mars in Cancer, like I said, just don't even fuck with guys with Mars with Cancer. But for you women, you might feel like your home is a war zone. That's the other thing. Like, just because Mars is aggression, that's war, it's anger, that's, part of what Mars represents. If you have Cancer there, it could be something in your family life, or it could be a war zone with your mother. Like, yeah, that Mars in Cancer ain't no joke. It ain't no joke, you guys. Uranus. Let's talk about that. And I said Uranus. So many people say Uranus. It's Uranus. It's Uranus, you guys. But I had to say it the other way, just in case someone just knew it by that. Uranus is the planet of suddenness. Something suddenly happens. So, look at the planets that are attached to Uranus in your chart, and, see which house it falls in. And that means something can suddenly happen in the energy of whatever that sign is. Uranus. So let's just talk about the general planets, and on the dark side, what they can mean for you. So I'm just going to say that. But let me take a moment to look over here for a second at the comments that we have. Chaya Burning says, I think we all should have started by birth with a natal chart reading, would save money and pain and heavy life lessons. Absolutely. Absolutely. It is so true. And, for those of you who are skeptics, I'm going to, leave three actually. Well, I'm going to leave two. I'm not going to leave the third one. The third one is good for, getting energies, but information from them. But, I don't know how punctual they are, but I'm going to leave two people who I can actually just vouch for here. That can help you out with these. If you want to know where you can go, I highly recommend it, you guys. And if anybody follows my channel, like, if I'm going to tell you something, I really mean it. I really mean it, you guys. And even if you are stubborn about it and you want to go against the grain, at least you were forewarned. You could take a horse to water, you can't make it drink. When it gets thirsty enough, it'll drink whether it wants to or not, just to live, But yes, please get it professionally done. Minimally glance at it. Yeah. And you can go on YouTube and Google and search these placements, but it's just so wonderful to get it professionally done. And like I said, I have two really good people to recommend. to you guys. I'll put it up under this live chat once it's done. And one of them will eventually be on this channel with me. She already agreed to do it, so we just have to set it up. And I might be able to get the other one too. So, but let's talk about the general placements on the dark side, what they can mean. Like Mercury, that can be on the dark side, overthinking. Venus is where you can overindulge, you guys. Mars is where you can have too much aggression. Saturn is where you might not have enough boundaries, okay? Which is why Saturn has to restrict you and hold it back from you until you learn how to have boundaries and then release it to you and you can actually handle it. Uranus is where you might be too rebellious or too unique. And it may be something that you're forced to deal with, like just out of the blue, like, damn, just fell in your lap type of things. Neptune can be a place where you're not taking something serious enough, okay? Neptune, so find out where that is, where you're not taking something serious enough. Pluto is where you're going to experience a lot of transformations, you guys. Jupiter is where you are going to have an abundance of, and expansions of. Jupiter increases, but it could be to your detriment. Jupiter is usually, a positive sign. It is associated with Sagittarius, and that's why you might find Sagittarius to be, lucky or go lucky people. They have that energy, that Jupiter with them, and they generally are, but it can be to your detriment. Like you have Jupiter in the first house, you might have to watch your weight, baby, because the first house deals with your body and your physical. So having Jupiter there means like you can lose weight and gain weight very quickly, okay? And more so gain, because it's Jupiter is expanding, putting on. So yeah, see that's an example right there where Jupiter might be like, I don't know, baby, I don't know. And then, Chiron is, like I said, that's the wounded healer, and it deals with some type of affliction. Usually it's your health, but it could be mental health. It could be something physical about you as well. So, yeah, I definitely wanted to take a moment. Yes, Rahbinah. Yes. Oh, Chaya. She's awesome. Chaya says, my daughter had her natal chart done by Rahbinah. Yeah. Isn't she great? That is definitely one of the astrologers, one of the two that I was going to recommend. So let's see. What else do I want to bring up with you guys in this entry-level video, if you will? So we talked about how Gemini deals with the nerves and all of that. So I'm trying to stick with the topic, which we're talking about abuse and narcissism and mental illness. So, yeah. Let me go into another spreadsheet. See if I want to point out anything else. Okay, this is the South Node. You definitely want to take a look at your South Node energy, you guys. It's kind of lets you know the energy that you're bringing from a previous life or something that you're going to have to like overcome this lifetime. And it's also your comfort zone. So, yeah, but if you see a guy or, a person with Pisces South Node, they could be sneaky as hell. I'll say that too. On the abusive end. But on the victimize in, because I said, Pisces is victimization. They could be gullible, naive, easily tricked, It could represent your mother, going to jail or going in and out of your life as well. Aquarius South Node could attract perverts. Could be a late bloomer sexually. Hypersexual. Okay. Likely LGBTQ. Capricorn South Nodes, past life was loner. Sagittarius South Node makes bad decisions, has karma with vehicles. They could be alcoholics, have liver issues, possible anger problems, rebellious, reckless. Yeah. But there's, with all these energies, there's a remedy for it. Like the Sagittarius South Node, you need to learn how to stay put, learn how to stay local, because Sagittarius is the sign of traveling, and respect others. So, as far as the abusive part, just, be careful with them. Scorpio South Nodes, okay? Learn to work for things rather than being entitled. So you might see narcissists that have Scorpio South Nodes. They don't want to conform to society standards. Does that sound familiar? I mean, higher level narcissists blend in, but the lower level ones, and Scorpio South Nodes aren't supposed to rely on their sexuality, but that's what they like to do. So again, yeah, watch the Scorpio energy. And please watch out for Scorpio energy. And I love Scorpio energy for its light, but on the dark side, get the fuck away from it. So Cancer South Node may have karmic ties to people they now date and poor family life in the past life. So like a lot of family karma with Cancer South Nodes. And Cancer North Node. Like they say Cancer South Node probably shouldn't even have kids. For real. Gemini South Nodes can be tricksters and con artists. I'm just telling you guys these things on the dark side. On the dark side. Taurus South Node, materialistic, aka the gold digger. This Aries South Node was a man last lifetime. So if you meet a woman, and Aries is a masculine sign anyway. So for any of my male, I know I was talking a lot to the women in this video, but if you meet an Aries woman, and some of the, sometimes narcissists are just friends and stuff. So, it applies all the way around. But Aries is a masculine sign anyway. So Aries women have to work not to be too masculine, honestly, when they want to be in their feminine energy anyway. But yeah, if it's a Aries South Node woman, she was a man last lifetime. So see how comfortable she is as a woman. Is her makeup really loud? Probably. Probably. Like, is she overdone? Is she trying too hard to be in her feminine energy? Probably. On the dark side, baby. On the dark side. So let me see. Oh my gosh. I went to my Virgo Moon, and I went to my Moon tab. And the first thing I seen was Virgo Moon controlling as fuck. On the dark side. Taurus Moon, man. Let's talk about that. Women have their place. This is the misogynist guy right there. So, yeah. Cancer Moon can be a ladies' man, a womanizer. Because they do understand women, but they use it, to manipulate and control. And they may overly rely on their mother as well. on the dark side. Libra Moon, men will attract women that are too compromising, and Libra Moon women may be too compromising. Remember, I was telling you about that bottom bitch thing. Always comparing themselves to others, the Libra Moon women. So my subscribers out there that are Libra Moons, yeah. Leo Moon women may have a hard time keeping a man, especially alpha males. And they may foot the bill or basically pay to play. So to my, survivors out there who are Libra Moons, you got to make sure you're not getting sucked up in that energy. And that's, that's rough because it's your moon sign. Those are your emotions and feelings. Like, it's deep rooted inside of you to do this. But just make sure, I'm like looking at this, like, how can that be to your advantage? Well, I guess sometimes cougar women may fit the bill and it may feel like it's to their advantage because then they send the young man away when they're done. Like, I'm trying to see, like, how can you make the energy work for you? And it's like, well, you got to be a cougar first. Shit. So, yeah. And for both Cancer Moon and men and women, they're all in their feelings and they act out without logic. Now, speaking of Cancer, we got to talk about Cancer and Mercury. This, to me, and I think it offends my Capricorn Moon because I'm just logical. I'm a logical person at heart. Cancer and Mercury, oh my gosh. Woo! If anybody listens to this and, you deal with a Cancer and Mercury, God bless you. God bless you, because it's so hard. You got to think about it. Mercury deals with communication, and we're putting this watery ass Cancer, emotional, illogical ass sign into a place that is supposed to be using intellect. How do you communicate with a person like that? They're going to hop in their feelings. They can't take constructive criticism. They make everything about them. It's all emotional and no logic. Oh my God. It's draining. It's absolutely draining. And I love Cancers, I love Cancers, but oh my gosh, Cancer and Mercury, come on. Doing too much. That is, if it was someone I did not want to talk with or try to reason with, a fucking Mercury and Cancer. Good Lord. It's horrible. Capricorn Moons, let's see here. Depression on and off. That person can, suffer from that. And they could be an opportunist on the dark side. Shit, let me say it. They can. All right. Pisces Moon has karmic relationships with their mothers, and their mothers may be physically or emotionally unavailable. But I kind of mentioned that earlier with the jail thing. Yeah. Moon and Mars. Let's talk about Mars. Mars and Scorpio, tyrannical. Be careful with that shit. And the thing with Scorpios is, when you first meet them, they will present a certain way, and it's usually not who the fuck they are. They're way too secretive to just show you who they are, especially when they're on the dark side. Come on now. Gemini, Mars, bisexual. I don't care what they say. Let's see. Mars and Libra don't like to take accountability. They basically pass the buck. I'm just letting you guys know the dark end of these astrological things. Okay. Doesn't mean they can't be on the light side here, but if you see this in their chart, this is why that shit is playing out. Also with the Mars and Libra, they just need a man, just codependent by nature. Okay. Aquarius, Mars will attract gay men. So I'm going to say that to my subscribers and survivors that have Aquarius and Mars. And You may be dating a guy that you think is straight, but if you have a Mars in Aquarius and he fine as hell and he know how to match better than you, you just might be susceptible to attracting gay men, okay? And your son could end up being gay if you have one later in life. So, yeah, or if you already got one, honey, hate to break it to you. Aquarius and Mars could also have identity issues too. And on the light side, you can be helped by your friends and associations, okay? Capricorn Mars, elitist, you know, step on people's neck to get to the top. Reputation means everything. Let's see. Taurus, Mars and Taurus men, they could be leeches. And, we were talking about how Taurus deals with money and food. Taurus can be foodies too now. Now, let's talk about Mars and Taurus women. They can end up dating criminals and have corrupt acquaintances or, superficial. They could be superficial. Men might poke holes at your self-esteem, although he may have money. So if you're a Mars and Taurus woman, you might attract ballers, but they might be pieces of shit. On the dark side, Aries and Mars, it could be a minute man. They could be a minute man sexually, okay? And it could be gay or bi, okay? But even more than that, selfish. This is a little dark, but Aries and Mars might tend to die younger. Yeah. Secret enemies. They might have secret enemies, be very sexual. But if you think about it, Aries is that warrior. They ain't afraid to fight. They ain't afraid to ruffle feathers. So could you tend to die younger if you're creating a bunch of enemies? Perhaps. So, and in my notes, it says die younger accidentally or through conspiracy. Be careful also, Mars and Taurus, that you're not sabotaged by your friends. That's also another note that I have there from my survivors. Let's go into Venus. I'm just trying to see here. Aries and Venus women, you might attract bad boys. You just might attract them, okay? If you're dealing with, what the hell is Nia in there talking about? If you're dealing with Leo and Venus and Leo, that man might just want arm candy. So that's going to be a shallow existence there. All right. Again, Venus and Gemini, bisexual. Venus and Taurus, money, money, money. That's the gold digger right there. So if we got Venus and Leo, like we said, it was the sign of the narcissist. You can attract or be the narc. So let's just say that with the Leo energy, either you're going to be the narcissist or you're going to be attracting them. Okay, that's how that's going to work. Like I said in the beginning, it's an energy thing, and either you're encompassing that energy or the energy is coming the fuck to you, baby. And, just knowing how to deal with that. So in Scorpio and Venus, they're very susceptible to catching STDs. Aquarius and Venus may want what they can't have. Might be a nudist too, sidebar. And that's the money jackpot sign right there, honestly. So that person can come into some money. Pisces Venus and Pisces men, they might use women to escape. Okay, let me say that as well. Looking through my notes. Let's talk about rising sign for a moment. Rising sign, you guys, is how people perceive you. Yeah, like first impressions, if you will. And your rising sign is the physical appearances that you take on as well. All right. But there's also, non-physical energy that comes behind that as well. Like I have here for Pisces Ascendant, shady, sneaky energy. Yeah. Watch out for that. And this other stuff I'm not going to get into because we're not even playing the dozens. I'm not going to make fun of people's looks per se. But I'll point this one out. Scorpio Ascendant, they can change sexual identities. And it says they piss people off and don't know why. I don't know about that, but I did write that down. They can have a challenge in life. They're addicted to power. And they experience power struggles or lack power. So, they might want the power and not have it. And then, depending on other placements, because you'll hear this, other people say this, people are all of their chart, not just, one thing. And as a matter of fact, other placements can minimize the energy of that or increase it. It could work with it or go against it. So, yeah. So, I wonder if I should give you guys this, just briefly just go down Saturn's here and just tell you what you need to work on, because this is really important, actually. Did I do them all? I think I have them all in here. I am going to do this because this is going to be very helpful. So if you know your Saturn placement, amazing. If not, look it up real quick. We're on a live chat and we're going to get to you. This is a great service, I feel, what you should be doing with your Saturns. So if you have a Saturn in Aries, and, maybe you're older now, but at some point in this lifetime, you were probably very selfish and hard-headed. You might have issues with authority, have a past life of destroying others in pursuit of their own success, and had no empathy for others. It sounds very narcissistic, right? So we can look out for those Saturn and Aries, because we know narcissists are unevolved. So their Saturn and Aries, they're staying in the shadow side of all of these signs I'm going to go through. If they're a narcissist, which some are more susceptible than others, they're going to be staying in the shadow side of this. But this is fucked up right here. Past life of destroying others in pursuit of their own success and had no empathy for others. That's the energy you came in here. Trampled on others and took no responsibility. Could be lazy and boring, have sexual problems, And this position kills your vitality and you have built-in anger. So in this lifetime, slow your damn roll. Be careful about strokes. So watch your heart and your hair and your teeth and your head injuries. Wait, let me just get to the more psychological. Well, you might want to hear this. Let me just say it. You're right. Let me give you the physical aspects as well. Slow your roll. Be careful about strokes, hearing, your ears, your teeth, head injuries, infections, especially in your tooth, okay? Watch out for blindness. Take care of your throat as well. You have to work 10 times as hard as nothing goes smoothly. And you got to think about, you got to work 10 times as hard because Saturn is stopping you, is restricting you, not stopping you. Restricting you is the proper word. It's restricting you, but look at all the shit you did. You know, maturity and prosperity comes much later in life. So if you are a young listener of my channel and you have this Saturn in Aries, your time will come if you play your cards right with Saturn and you please Saturn. That means do things the right way. You can't just be destroying others and be trampling over people. There's a consequence for that. But the person who I got these notes from said this is like the worst position to have and it cripples your creativeness. So you're going to have to work in those areas to unlock it. It cripples it. Doesn't mean you can't have it. But yeah, that's Saturn and Aries. So you can look at that in your chart and others, you know, and hopefully that was helpful. Moving right along. Saturn and Taurus, you guys, if you have that, Saturn is in his detriment here. It might mean that you're irresponsible with money and don't value yourself properly, or you value the things that you shouldn't, and you'll be broke for at least the first 30 years of your life. The higher you raise your esteem, because you know you're lacking there at some point, the more you will make. Okay, don't give your power away. Have a sense of self-worth, as it may be attacked, at least early on, right? Find your worth and make it even greater than that. All right. Hold on a minute. Let's go on to the next side here. I have Saturn in Gemini. Problems with communication. You have to think about it. Gemini is like a fast mind, a quick speaker. Like you want Mercury in Gemini. That person can run their fucking mouth and they're going to be a great speaker. Okay. They might talk too damn much, but hey, if they get in that profession, they might make some dough with that. But the Mercury and Gemini person is going to have problem with communications. Like you could even be stuttering. You see what I'm saying? Or just have problems with expressing yourself. You're probably an introvert and have problem taking and expressing feelings. Don't know how to come out of your shell. Maybe a late bloomer in life. Your worst years probably your teenage years and your 20s. And then after your Saturn return, which is after you turn 30, you can become the best at something actually. And not be fickle, because Gemini, you know, that's that sign of being fickle. All right. With Saturn's help, they make the best surgeons and creative geniuses. All right. And you won't have that delay in interpersonal skills anymore. All right. You need to develop before your Saturn return. Make sure you're developing your scholastic aspects of yourself. And you could be a great writer, actually. And your brain will become less scattered as you develop scholastically and you put into yourself in that way. Okay. So just like people can learn how to not stutter anymore, you got to put in that work though. All right. So we got Saturn and Cancer. Here is a history of generational pain of many lifetimes and didn't pay attention to your emotions in other lifetimes. So you're going to have to transform yourself and be happy with the good and bad aspects of yourself and learn to value yourself. You may have problems with your mother. She may respect you. So you need to learn your self-love and resolve mommy issues, forgive, and you may need therapy. And this is the other thing that I also learned about Saturn and Cancer's men. Anytime they disrespect the divine feminine, they're going to get fucked up. So if you have a son, or even if that narcissist is a Saturn and Cancer, he going to get that karma fast. Like if you have a Saturn and Cancer, you are not allowed to fuck women over. And if you do it, you're going to get a slap on the wrist. You better, those type of men, they better be careful what kind of women they deal with, because that could be the guy that deals with a woman that says he raped her and he didn't, and he going to jail. Like you have a Saturn and Cancer and you're a man, you better watch the type of women you deal with, and you better watch how you treat women. You have an obligation to be respectful to the divine feminine. And I don't know if Saturn says you have an obligation to be fucked up by him too if you do the wrong thing. So, you know, Saturn and Cancers may have also seen their mother go through a lot of struggles and be a single mom and have to, get it out the mud and stuff, much like Capricorn Moon women end up a lot of times. So, yeah, just a little sidebar about that Saturn and Cancer. I seen that up close and personal. Saturn and Leo. All right, you are coming from the energy of going overboard, being very cruel, insensitive, demeaning, enjoying being mean, and you were probably abused, and now you abused others with your power and when uninvolved. Okay, can be a sociopath, inflict pain, and think nothing of it. The level of selfishness and narcissism is frightening. No remorse or empathy, has an obligation to settle debts, and they'll get success and not want to share it with no one. Sadistic, just fucked up. Damn. You're going to work hard. You're going to be working hard. And, usually with that Saturn and Leo, people are fucking expandable. So you can see why Leo could be that sign of narcissism, how it plays out here. Like, damn, that's pretty deep right there. Woo. So it's definitely more powerful than the Saturn and Aries as far as that sadistic shit, But yeah, if you have a Saturn in Leo, and I'll add to that, you probably have daddy issues as well, because Leo represents the sun. The sun is the dad. So if Saturn is in there, there's a restriction. So there's something with the dad. Either he's not there, there's dysfunction, you're not connecting. Something is off with you and your father for sure. Or the masculine energy in your life. We have to look at that as feminine and masculine energy. Okay, you guys. Virgo, Saturn and Virgo, worry warts, okay? Worries a lot, so there's a lot of anxiety and irritability, okay? You might even have irritable bowel syndrome. Many lifetimes of dying of lack of nutrition, of not taking care of the body, but taking care of the spirit, or taking care of the spirit and not the body. Like, it's always something out of sync. So in this life, you need to take care of both body and spirit. You can't just do one or the other. So that's what Saturn and Virgo is what I have there. But just, think of the energy that Virgo encompasses, So, yeah. Saturn in Libra. This is actually, I have this placement, and the person like ranted and raved about it. And I guess I could see the positives of it. You got to take the good with the bad. But the bad is really shitty. But the bad is shitty for everybody with Saturn. You know what I mean? And the good is good for everybody with Saturn. It's just how the cookie crumbles here. But, Saturn is exalted here. And Libra always wins. Complete the task. Use the tools you have to obtain what you want. Libra, they can be social climbers, but you should help to bring others with you too, not just yourself. Oh, Saturn's happy with me, baby. Use teamwork. Wants to be accepted by society. The lower nature, though, because I've dated some Saturn Libras, and the lower nature is out for self. They do like the finer things, can be flashy, have a great smile. Libra gets away with murder. Watch out for being selfish, okay? So depending on those degrees of those Libra signs, courts might go in your favor. They might go in your favor, baby. But yeah, the thing with Saturn and Libra is you need to find balance. Saturn's going to kick your ass anytime you try to let somebody else do all the work, or anytime you try to do all the freaking work. You got to stay in balance with Saturn and Libra. It just is what it is. So if you're a Saturn Libra chick that wanted hypergamy, Okay, well, I guess he's going to carry out a financial weight. It needs to balance out somewhere else, though. If you're just laying up on your ass somewhere, Saturn might have a problem, and you're going to get some karma for that. So if you have a Saturn in Libra or lots of Libra energy, you need to find balance in your life. That means you can't be taking on more than you're supposed to, and you can't allow other people to take on more. Libra is the scales. Find the balance. Find balance. And this is coming from someone that has a Libra stellium, and I have gotten fucked up when I have taken responsibility for people and, things that they should have been taken care of. Yeah, I got the slap on the wrist. Saturn said, oh, okay, really? Okay. We gonna learn today. And anytime I tried to be lazy and let somebody else take for me, a slap on the wrist for that. So, I have to, I'm just keeping it real with you guys. Gotta have that balance. So let's talk about Saturn and Scorpio, you guys. Saturn and Scorpio might actually have a hard time accepting other races. Okay. Cancer is also the other racist sign of the zodiac. Actually, I wouldn't even rank Scorpio as number 2. Sidebar, while we're sidebarring here, I'm going to say Cancer, Sagittarius, Leo, and then I guess Scorpio. Okay. As far as the racial aspect. And Libra can be too, but there's so much of a people person, you'll never know. They're just too damn diplomatic. They'll be able to hide that shit and take that to the grave. Chances are, unless somebody has like a hidden camera somewhere. But back to Scorpio, Saturn and Scorpio has a hard time accepting other races. Saturn and Scorpio is actually the punisher. They're given permission to fuck shit up in his life. It gives them the license to kill, and that might sound weird, but life has yin and yang. We give life, we take life. There's going to be the opposite to everything going on in this earth. And some people actually were put on this earth to take life, just as there are people put on this earth to give it. But be careful with that as well, as we're, tying everything back to the topic of this live chat, you guys, of abuse and whatnot. So let me just say this too, while we're talking about Scorpio. And I told somebody this the other day. If you are attracting Scorpios into your life, something needs to be transformed, and they're probably going to help you do it. So I don't know. Yeah, just if you attract a Scorpio, your Scorpio sun, you find out right off the rip it's a Scorpio sun, be like, damn, what the fuck they trying to transform in my life? Because that's what you need to have a radar for. Because Scorpios come, their duty and their job is to transform shit. So if you're attracting one, what's dormant? I know, like, there were times in my life, and this, you guys are gonna giggle. I attracted Scorpio because I was celibate. I'm like, yo, this Scorpio came just to make me have sex now? Like, they was like, no, you have to have balance, Lakia. You can't just be cobwebbing it all up like that. No, we gonna send this Scorpio and bring that Libra to balance. But yeah, if you're attracted to Scorpio into your life, beware, baby. Beware, because they coming on a mission. You got to find out what that mission is in your life. I mean, you ain't got to keep indulging them, but they make it hard to resist. I'll tell you that right now. But yeah. So back to Scorpio and Saturn, because this is deep. Okay, they can be cult leaders, psychopaths, murderers. Okay. Pure evil, demonic energies. Like, Scorpio is the sign of demons. So they're vessels. They can be possessed, taken over. They can have all types of demonic energies. And how else are they hypnotizing you? So, and this is on the dark side to all my Scorpios out there. If you a Phoenix, I love you. But the lesser evolved Scorpios, get the fuck away from me. You do not want to get in bed with, and I'm talking about literally, figuratively, with an unevolved Scorpio. They will fuck your life up. I'm telling you. You better figure out if they're a Phoenix, and that's like tricky if they're so damn secretive and they're wearing a mask like a fucking narc. You're not gonna know. So you need to be wary. Be wary. So yeah, a lot of demonic energies around them too. So not only within, but around is very possible. Okay. So they're Scorpios on the light side can be great in the medicine field. They can be great in mortuary science, right? They can be great writers and surgeons as well. They may have had childhood abuse and neglect, sexual abuse. Oh my God. You know, Saturn and Scorpio women may have fibroids. Get that checked out. This is kind of fucked up, but you know, we got to think about Saturn causing delays here, but Saturn and Scorpio men may have erectile dysfunction, you know? So this is all for a reason. Saturn wants you to learn how to control your sexual energy so it restricts it. So this is the Scorpio that's going to want to try to lean on her sexuality, but it's going to be something getting in the fucking way of it. But it's on purpose because Saturn is doing that to you on purpose. Like you're more than just your fucking body, aren't you? Come on now. You got something else to stand on. Like we just named that medicine, mortuary, writing, surgeons. Come on. Do something else with that energy. Harness that sexual energy for something positive, you guys. So if you're Saturn and Scorpio, don't try to lean on it. And hopefully, you know, on the other end, if you've had a lot of abuse, get some help for that. Sexual abuse and whatnot, get some help for that. Don't carry that. All right, who we got next? Sagittarius. Hold on. Saturn and Sagittarius. This is going to come as a surprise to some of you. Saturn and Sagittarius can suffer from nervousness. You know, you could have a lot of phobias and bipolar, central nervous system issues, overwhelming challenges. See, you got to think about it. If Saturn is delays, but if Jupiter is with Sagittarius, Saturn trumps that shit. Like, I don't care if you got Jupiter. Well, we're going to send it in the opposite direction. We're going to give you abundance of fucking problems. That's fucked up. Oh my gosh. Do we have a love-hate relationship with Saturn or what? Oh my gosh. For me, it's like I've been beaten into submission. How many of you have? Like, look, you can't beat them, join them. Like, I got to pay my dues in Saturn just like everybody the fuck else. Saturn is a bitch. So how are you going to take Sagittarius Jupiter, which is supposed to bring good luck, and just turn that shit all the way around? Like, damn. But hey, Saturn is that bitch. Right. You're supposed to learn. You're supposed to learn through it. So, it says here for Saturn and Sagittarius, Jupiter is nowhere to help. You learn through experience, not books. So we talking about the school of hard knocks, bitch. And, you know, as I'm talking about these Saturns, if you know your Saturn, let me know if we're hitting that. Let me know if any of these, you know, what I'm telling you is resonating with you. Okay? Yeah, but that's Sagittarius, Saturn and Sag. All right, we got Saturn and Capricorn. This is actually a good placement, this one. Because it's at home. Shit. Saturn, Capricorn is ruled by Saturn. So it's pretty good. This is a pretty good placement. So for this one, Saturn is at home and is doing everything to advance the person. You know? They got it together usually, or Saturn works to help you. You know, because Saturn's in his dignity, like I was saying, and you might have a charmed life, right? Success is granted. It's going to be granted. Just be patient and have fun in between, because we know how Capricorns can be the workaholics. Okay, too busy trying to be responsible. All right, so this is actually a good Saturn to have, you know, out of all of them, it's in my opinion, you know, and anywhere if the planet's at home is going to work the best, right? So Saturn will make sure you reach the finish line, all right? But on the dark side here, Saturn and Capricorn can have a lot of impersonal relationships though, all right? Think about Mary J. Blige here. Yeah. And the personal relationships may suffer although you get the money, you know? Damn. And to my Capricorn moons, do you fucking feel that? Like, the Capricorn energy is what it is. Mia, one of my twins just came to the door. She said, Mom, Mia's giving me a headache. And these are my 4-year-old twins that I clearly sent to bed. Hold on a minute, you guys. I'm back. But yeah, and it's funny. I was going to, you know, just talk to Capricorn moons in particular because I'm a Capricorn moon, and I feel for anybody that is a Capricorn moon. God bless you. First of all, God bless you. God damn it. You know, Virgo moons have it hard, but damn it, Capricorn moons do. I know first fucking hand. But yeah, with the Saturn and Capricorn, you get the money, your personal relationships might be fucked, you know, but this kind of aligns with you don't get everything in life. You just got to make the best. Just got to make the best. But you can handle anything that life throws at you. And I feel like, you know, Capricorn moons, we good like that too. But damn, like just because we can handle it doesn't mean that it needs to be thrown at us. Like, yo, that's heavy. Capricorn moon is a heavy placement. It's heavy, 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 heavy placement. And you probably had some type of issue with your mother. Either, like for me, it was my mom passing away when I was 7, you know? So I didn't get to have that nurturing for too long. And then it was in a dramatic ass way. Like Capricorn moon that's rough. I'm almost ready to there's a guy, Fernando, on YouTube. I'm like, I need him. He did the most intensive Capricorn moon breakdown ever. And I'm like, yo. And he did like a 3-part series. I'm gonna put it beneath here for my Capricorn moons. And also for Mars and Cancer. I'm gonna share certain placement videos that are just fucking amazing. And when you listen to it, it's gonna be like, wow. And it's going to make a lot of things make sense if you have experienced a lot of abuse, you know, and suffering. And so, you know, it doesn't mean it's going to continue for you, but you just got to be careful. Like I know people who have a lot of these placements that set them up to attract a lot of predators. And a lot of them just say, fuck that. By a certain age in life, they just give up on that aspect. Kind of, they're like, I'm just gonna be single. Fuck that. Like I didn't have my heyday. I didn't have enough SCX. Like I'm not even willing, because they don't trust themselves because the energy is so strong in their chart, and they just keep gravitating towards this, you know, this oppressive thing that ends up fucking them over. Even if there is that little love bomb phase, you know, the narcissist gives, but we know what's going to come next, the value and discard. So it's like, damn, like, shit, I'll find my happiness in other areas of my life because I'm tired of suffering, you know? Sometimes people get to that point, and I know people like that, and they're just like, fuck it, man, fuck it. You know, I like we're talking about this Saturn and Capricorn. Like, look, this is the fucking cards I was dealt. I guess I'm gonna make my money. I can enjoy that. I can be a humanitarian. I can You know, there's lots of ways to experience love, but shit, I don't gotta get married again. I don't gotta go through that heartache again. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, yeah, everybody has different, cards dealt. But let's go ahead on to Saturn and Aquarius. Mm. Saturn and Aquarius, I don't like that one that much. I know I hate to be biased, but just because I have a Capricorn Moon, I don't like cold and detached. I feel like my sign you have to deal with enough with that. I want some warmth. I need warmth, But Saturn and Aquarius is even more detached and impersonal. They may use people, and they probably didn't get the love they needed early on from their mother. And, that feels weird. They're going to feel weird and like an outcast because, Aquarius is just the sign of weirdness anyway. They may not connect well with others. Well, if you're being cold and detached, right? They know they don't belong here. And they may have a hard time working regular jobs too. And may have issues with authority. Okay. Stonewallers. And they will be the social media junkies, okay? And as a matter of fact, it makes me think of two YouTubers that are like extremely popular. They are a couple on YouTube and they both have Saturn and Aquarius, and they have like mad views and mad love, like all that, because Aquarius is a sign of technology, and that energy is working for them in that sector, I just be wondering, what are they really like behind closed doors? Like, I was looking at their chart. I was like, ooh, they pretty cold. They pretty cold. But either way, they know how to do what they have to do on social media. And that Aquarius energy, works very well for them. So if you have a lot of Aquarius energy, you may be called to take advantage of it on social media. I'm serious. Take advantage of it on social media. All right, especially now in the Aquarian age, shit, this is your time to shine, baby. So let's move on to the last one here. Last but not least, anyway, Saturn and Pisces. This is a heavy one, right? So you might not feel self-sufficient. You may experience incarcerations. Someone might steal from you, or you might be a damn thief. Come on, we got to do better, Saturn and Pisces, with that part. You may want the easy way. You may be naive, gullible, or easy to deceive on the dark side. Your imagination might be blocked because we have to think, Saturn caused delays. And Pisces is like the sign of the musician. Like, anytime I see someone with mad Pisces energy, I'm like, you need to be on the fucking stage somewhere in a goddamn studio, dancing on the floor somewhere, writing some poetry. Like, these people are very artistic, designing some clothes or something. Think of Tyler, the Creator. Pisces, Erykah Badu. Pisces energy is dope when it comes to that creativity. Like, they know how to make a fashion statement, So, Saturn will cause delays for you until your Saturn return. So then you're going to start feeling that lift, and then you might actually become, the most creative shit. So that's what I have there with Pisces and Saturn. But just to draw off of the energies that I talked about earlier about being the sign of victimization and, the sign of addictions and addicts, you want to be careful with that Saturn and Pisces, and the homelessness and trying to, well, that's in the fourth house with trying to find a home, but just being a runner or attracting runners, or just be careful of all that Pisces energy. Shoot, if I had mad Pisces energy, I wouldn't even want to take a damn chance. Like, I'll take a non-alcoholic beverage, god damn it. I'm good. I'm not even going to take a chance with that shit. But, this could explain, why that narcissist was hitting the bottle heavy. It'll help you see these types of things, you guys. So, let me know, is this helping anybody? Are you guys, getting anything from what I'm sharing today? Are you getting anything? I'm hoping that this is helping you guys. I see we got some listeners here. So, and I clicked on my Neptune tab. Neptune and Scorpio, they may have debts. Okay, so if you're trying to be careful of people that's gonna cost you money, Neptune and Scorpio, baby. I think isn't that like the drug dealer placement too? I think that might be the drug dealer placement. So, Uranus and Scorpio, you may have karma with death. Okay. Uranus and Gemini, bipolar, moody. Uranus and Sagittarius, reckless spending. Okay. Let's see, you guys. I think, damn, we've been on here for 2 hours. You guys know that I'm passionate about this. One day, maybe I might even start my own channel. I really enjoy talking about these type of topics. So, yeah. And I've even learned a lot about tarot too. I think it's all just connected to me. It's all connected. Definitely. But I've enjoyed coming on here, you guys. But if you came on late, and you have time, just go back in and, make you a nice little non-alcoholic beverage drink from my Pisces. And take a listen. There's a lot of information sprinkled, all throughout here, you guys, to help you out. But, Cancers, I don't think I mentioned this. Cancer men are the pimps of the zodiac. They just have that title, you guys. Womanizers. They will let a woman, out earn them and take care of them, all of that. Mama's boys, yeah. I'm wondering if I mentioned that. I think I might have, like an hour and a half ago. So, just take heed, take heed, you guys, to what I had to say. And, see how it relates to your chart or the people that you're attracting into your life. Your Venus sign could be the energy that you're attracted to. Your Venus sign. But I think for a woman that she's supposed to be attracted to her Jupiter, actually. Her Jupiter should be the energy that her husband is in. The energy is what I'm going to say, because either they literally be in that sign or they're going to be in the energy of. Yeah. And your Mars might be your karmic relationship. Yeah. You might find that you had a lot of sex with the people who are in whatever your Mars is in, or they're in that energy. And that might actually be your karmic relationship. Yeah. But for men, I believe their wife is supposed to be their Venus sign. So, yeah. All right, you guys. I'm not a professional, but your girl has elephant ears, and I'm a student and I've learned a lot. And I really want, like I said, I wanted you guys to have this upper hand and understand the connection. I highly, highly recommend every survivor get a professional natal chart or birth chart reading done. I will, give me a moment after this is uploading. I will recommend 2 excellent, sources to get that done. Okay. And it will help you to understand, maybe for those of you who felt like you've just attracted a lot of abusive situations into your life, there may be energetically some things going on, and it doesn't hurt. It doesn't hurt, you guys. All right. Like I said, you have every advantage here, and it's more than just understanding psychology here. Get to that birth chart. Where were the planets aligned when you were born, and what energy did that send you into this life with, and what things will you have to maybe work harder to overcome, especially for those of you who are perpetually in these toxic relationships or feeling like you're getting the shitty end of the stick. All right. It may even be that in this lifetime, either you're supposed to be creating better boundaries, or it could even be that that's not your main goal. You know, you may want something that you don't need. You know, marriage may not be the cornerstone of what you were sent here for. Okay. So, and I'm not trying to say that people cannot find their happiness, but the more elevated you get, your happiness will be in line with, you know, your true purpose and not your lesser evolved desires, if you will. So, and sometimes that's, you know, it's, we don't want to hear some things too. So, but it's real, you guys. It's real, and there's so many other things that I've learned about astrology beyond just, you know, the abusive aspects. But I really didn't want to digress too much into those things. But yeah, hope this live chat helped you guys, and I really enjoyed doing it. And you know, I do plan on linking up with Rahbinah because she is one of the professional astrologers that I would like, you know, you guys to get to know. And with that being said, you guys, thank you for tuning in. Make sure you hit that like button and show love to my channel. Subscribe, hit the bell so that you know when I'm notifying. And what do I say at the end of all my videos? Because I got to go get these twins because they're running amok. Never give up on yourself. Continue to do the work, you guys. And until next time, please take care.